was mentioned. He has been a colleague in one institution as an IT instructor. Okay. Then he has been a skills competition expert, both local, so that's with here in the Philippines, and then recently we've worked together in World Skills 2017 in Abu Dhabi. Okay, so he represented the Philippines as an expert in web design and development. And then he was part of Team Maharlika in 1C Skills Camp 2020, okay, which was supposedly be held face-to-face, but due to the pandemic, it became an online competition. And then last year was also online. He was also a competitor in the professional category. So in last 2020, the participants work by team, group of 3 members. But since because of the online setup, so we figured that last year we tried the participants would work individually. Okay, so 2020 their team won 2nd place, and then last year he also placed 2nd in the professional category. Okay, so it is my honor to present our speaker for today, my longtime friend and colleague, Mr. Ricardo P. Enriquez Jr., our 1C evangelist in Southeast Asia. Sir Ricky.
Okay, so good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to all the participants. Welcome to our 1C Enterprise first session. Ayan, so let me first share my screen. So thank you, Sir Joey, for that surprise introduction.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, so this is my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our hashtag 1C Enterprise first session, gearing up for 1C Skills Camp 2022. So I hope from this session you will learn the basic of our platform and understand what can we do in using 1C Enterprise platform. Yeah. First of all, let me know what do you feel right now, or how do you feel right now before we begin our session or our topic discussion. You can go to this link on your browser, classpoint.app, so that I can collect your answer. Using this code 27846, you may scan this QR code using your mobile phone so that you can answer or participate to answer in our given question. Yeah. So my question is, how do you feel right now? And so before we start, and so let's wait for the others to join. So how many participants are in right now, Sir Carlo or Sir Joey?
We are 30 all in all, sir. 30 participants, including us. Yeah.
So I'll start the and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 participants. Or 7, 8. Yeah. Okay. So 30, 30, sir.
Yes, sir. Pero including us 3. So let's say 27 participants, all in all.
Okay, so thank you for the answer of 9 participants. So I set the timer in 60 seconds. So we have 13 seconds left. Only 9 participants are joining to answer the question. So I'll try to add another 15 seconds. Maybe there is a challenge on their parts in their internet connection. So, because I see that there are some still joining. So some answered nervous, excited, feeling good, yeah, excited. Ayan, so only 12 participants answered. So the most answered is excited. So everyone is here is excited to learn about 1C Enterprise platform. And it's a good thing that to know that you are happy to know and learn about 1C Enterprise platform. So for this session, we're going to discuss about the Infobase configuration and catalogs for us to deeply understand what is 1C Enterprise platform. But as we go along, no, if we move with our 1C skills camp, no, you may learn more deeper dun sa in our 1C Enterprise platform. Okay, so what is 1C Enterprise platform? So 1C Enterprise platform is a universal cloud and on-premise system of programs for automating a company's financial and wider operational activities. So mainly, 1C Enterprise platform focuses on business application. Now, we cannot do games here or other programming language can do because 1C Enterprise platform really focus on business application. But one good thing here in 1C Enterprise platform is it uses low-code platform for fast and flexible software development. So we still need to code, but the code is already or automatically created by the system. And what we can do is to add a code only if that logic is not suited for that created by the system. And then it built easily to modify applications with wide functional scope. No, so why wide functional scope? Because as we move along with this discussion, you will know why we can build easy to modify applications with a wide functional scope. So in using 1C Enterprise platform, it is like a building blocks, no? So from where if we put them together, we can build a one application. So 1C Enterprise has a powerful backend. Why? Because using one code, we can deploy it in any platform like Windows, Linux, Mac, iOS, Android, and of course in our web browser using only one code. So that is great. So one code, any scale from a small app using one user or even thousands of concurrent users. Now, especially in our 1C ERP. No, it is already made and then the company will implement only that system using that ERP. So one code, any DBMS, we can use here MySQL server, PostgreSQL, Oracle, IBM, and DB2. Yeah. So I already mentioned that we can use it in using a cross-platform architecture using Windows, application, Linux and Mac OS, even our browser and Android, iOS, and yung our Windows version natin. Yan. So once enterprise resources, I hope you already get our training version that we can use for this session. The version is 8.3.19.1229 using this link, www.1c-dn.com. I hope you go to this site. And so if you go to this site, 1c-dn.com, you can see the home page and the button here, the download free trial, or you can directly use the sign up button here. But because I have already my account in 1c-dn.com and it is already logged in, no, you may click now this download free trial so that you can download the right version for your operating system. So for me is Windows. So if you have Linux or Mac OS, you can download that version for you to run the 1C Enterprise platform. So if you click the Windows or the trial version, then it will download. So I hope everyone already download this application because the file size is 362 MB. But if you have a faster internet connection, you can download it in just a minute, 5 to 10 minutes maybe, or it depends on your internet speed. Okay, so if ever you don't have the installer yet, no, you may download it later, or while we are discussing, you may continue the download. So after you download the application, let's wait. Okay, so we may now install our downloaded installer of 1C Enterprise platform. By the way, and so there are other links that I provided here about knowledge base. If you want to learn more besides to this tutorial and what our Sir Tony demonstrate from the last session, you may go to this link, /library. There are some examples that you can use to learn more about how to use 1C Enterprise platform. And you may join the forum if you have questions that you need to find some answer. So you may join to the forum using your account in 1c-dn.com. Okay, so getting started. So we're going to install our 1C Enterprise platform. So if ever, who among the participants has no installer yet, and you may chat using the chat box so that you can assist by our team. Okay, so we're going to start the installation of the 1C Enterprise platform, and upon waiting the installation, we're going to discuss some of the terms that we may encounter using the platform. And then we're going to create our My Money application, and we're going to familiarize ourselves with the interface or environment of the 1C Enterprise platform. Okay, so here's the installer. Okay, so you may open the training 8.3.19.12.29 and then look for the setup. So look for the setup.exe, and then you may double click the setup application. Okay, so we're going to do the step-by-step installation of this application. So this small window will appear on your screen, and then what we're going to do is to click next, and then whatever is highlighted there, just click next. So it will install under program files using this path. Just click
Excuse, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, yung installer, ay yung dito. Yung naka-view sa Zoom, hindi po ata yun yung nakalagay.
Hindi po naka-share. Sorry, sir.
I think naka-show sir yung yung PowerPoint pa din. So let's
Then naka-share lang po ako ng PowerPoint. Sorry. Okay.
Apa. Yeah. Mga pala. Thank you, Sir Ricky.
And
Okay na po.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
okay, so just click next. When you see this screen, select default interface language. So we have no options to select. Just click next. And then click install. And so while we are waiting for the finished installation, let us start some of the terms that we may encounter in using a 1C enterprise platform. But the installation is very fast. Just let us start the platform. Okay, where are we now? Yeah, so getting started. Oh, just the installation only. We have how many minutes to break, sir? So we're going to wait for the final installation. Oh, it's already finished. Do we need to have a break, sir? Or we're going to continue? Yeah, so,
it's okay, sir.
Okay, sir. So just let us know, sir, if our participant already installed their 1C Enterprise platform, or is there any problem that they may encounter so that we can help them before we start training. And you may chat using the chat box.
Yes, please. Just let us know, participants, if you're currently installing or you have installed, or did you encounter any problems with the installation. So just write on the chat box. Thank you very much.
Okay, any problem in installation? Okay, wala naman po, sir. Done with the installation. Thank you for your answer. So we're going to have how many minutes break, sir?
Okay, so we are now ready to proceed on the first part of our session 1. Sir Ricky.
Okay, welcome back again, Sir Joey. And so I hope all the participants already installed their 1C Enterprise platform. And so besides using the site in downloading the links, so we already have this Google Drive that we can share to you. Because I also put some resources. Wait. I'll get the link. Okay, so you may go using this link so that you can get some few images that we can use in our application. I already chat in our chat box. So you can go to this link and get these training resources. We have 4 images that we can use in our demo application. Okay, so let us start our training using the 1C Enterprise platform for our session 2. So we're going to create our first 1C Hello World as we do the Hello World in other programming languages. So let us see how easy to create a 1C Hello World using a 1C Enterprise platform. So using your desktop, you may click Start and then look for your installed 1C Enterprise training version. So you can click Start and then look for 1C Enterprise training version. So click this icon. Then let us wait for this small window to appear. Now in your window, the Infobases, we have here the Infobases and some buttons. So let us discuss it one by one. So in your screen, it is empty. But in my case, I have some Infobases created already before this training. So that's why there are some Infobase that you can see. No? So on your part, that is blank or empty. Infobase. So we have different buttons here. The 1C Enterprise, the Designer, and we have here Add, Change, Remove, Customize, and then the Exit button. Of course, if we click the Exit button, it will exit. So we cannot see what is inside the 1C Enterprise. No? These 2 buttons above, the 1C Enterprise and the Designer, if you click this button, if you have already the Infobases created, it will bring to the end user. The end user, the one who used your created application, or in 1C it is called as applied solutions. So this is for the end user. And this second button, the Designer, is for us, a developer who want to create or develop a 1C Enterprise applied solutions. No? So in this area. But in our case, or in your case, we don't have any Infobase yet, so we cannot go yet to 1C Enterprise or even in the Designer. So the very first thing that we must do is to create our Infobase. So what is Infobase? In 1C Enterprise, if we create an Infobase, we have 2 things that we already need to create. Now, the database and the application itself. Now, at one Infobase. So unlike with the other programming languages that we need other or third-party application for databases. But in Once Enterprise, it is already bought in Infobases. All the database and the interface that we need to create for our end user or to create our program. Okay, so let us click Add button. Then this screen will appear. It will ask to add Infobase or folder. We have two options, create Infobase or add Infobase. So in our case, since this is our first time and this is our first Infobase that we're going to create, so we need to create our Infobase. So click next, and then another screen. We must choose the second option, create an Infobase without a configuration to develop a new configuration or restore a previously dumped Infobase. So select this second option to create our own Infobase, then click next. Now it will ask you about the name of the Infobase or the folder. So for us as a developer, in order to easily understand what application or program we are going to create, we must name it based on our preferred name of the application. So in our case, we're going to create the My Money app. So let us name it as My Money. My Money. Yeah. So there is also an option, but only this computer or LAN computer is enabled because we are using a trial version or training version. The Once Enterprise server is not active, and it's okay because we can create our application for our computer and for the mobile version. So the option is okay. So just click next after typing the Infobase name. Okay, so just take note the Infobase name that we given, the My Money. Then after clicking the next button, there is also a directory that we need to specify. So where this Infobase should be saved, it's under this path C /users teacher on my computer. But on your computer, it is different. But what is important here is the name of the Infobase at the end. The Infobase name here is Infobase 16 because I have already created Infobase name 1 to 16. But for us, so that we can easily recognize what is the content of that Infobase, we must name it as related to our application also without spaces. So I may use here the My Money without space. You may use capital letter like this one. So it is under My Documents folder. So the Infobase file will be saved under My Money or folder, My Money. Okay, so after typing in, the language default for me is English. If this is different from your screen, you may choose what English language should be used for this application. Okay, so click next. And then there are other information. Just click finish. Do not change everything in this window. Just click finish. Okay, so by the way, when you join the Once Skills Camp, it will discuss further about this Infobase, how to create. So in our case, or for this tutorial, just follow my step. Okay, so I have already My Money folder. So So I use the name My Money 100 name folder. So as you can see, no, our Infobase area already have the Infobase, My Money. So let us check the documents. It is under the documents. So this is the folder I create during the setup. So here is the My Money 100, and then here is the Infobase created by 1C Enterprise. So that is the file for our Infobase. Okay. So just highlight the My Money, and then let us click now the designer mode. So this button, designer, just click the designer mode. Okay, so let us discuss first some info about Infobase. So Infobase is a single 1C Enterprise application. It contains not only the data, but also the program. So in one Infobase, we have the database and we have the program itself. Or we called it as applied solution. So in 1C Enterprise, the output that we create or the program having our Infobase, they name it as applied solution. So it is executed by the platform. So why applied solution? Because we are mainly focusing in developing a business application with logic. Because some, as we mentioned, this is a low-code platform. Some codes as already or automatically created by the system. So what we're going to do is just to make some modification for the code for the logic to fit in our program or system. So there are already some applied solution created by 1C Enterprise. Just as we mentioned before, we have already the ERP or the complete accounting suite for small and mega businesses. These two are what we call the applied solution. So the My Money is also what we call the applied solution after creating the program and used by our end user. Okay, so let us go with the interface. Okay, so since we have already here in the interface of our 1C Enterprise platform, so we already also the Infobase created. So for example, you update your program in creating the 1C Enterprise platform, or there is an additional update. Now, don't forget to have a backup of your Infobase so that you can back to the original one if ever there is something happened with the latest or updated version of your Infobases. So to back up our Infobase, we must go here in administration. No, under the menu, administration. Click administration, and then we have here the dump Infobase and restore Infobase. So in 1C Enterprise, dump Infobase means we need to back up or create a backup of our Infobase. And then if we want to restore that previous version or the backup or the dump one, we need to use the restore Infobase. So let us do the backup. No, you must do this if you have an updates to your created program so that you have a backup of that Infobase. So let us dump. So it's up to you where you want to put your backup of your Infobase. So don't ask me where is that backup. So it's up to you. You must know in what folder or what path will you save your backup. It's up to you. So for example, My Money backup. If you want to have a date, so just put a date there. No, but for me, it's enough. My Money backup. That I will add training. Click it save. So I already have my backup of my Infobase. So dumping Infobase to file users, yan, etc. Nakalagay naman. It's already written. Where is the exact location or path of our backup files? No, my money backup training.dt. So the extension is .dt. Okay, so click OK. So how do we restore? Click administration and then click restore. Then look for that backup or dump file. My money demo. Wait, my money backup training DT. And then click open. And then click yes. So it will restart and then it will open again. So that is how we're going to back up our database and restore our back up our Infobase and restore our Infobase. No? Don't forget to do that every time you have an update with your project using 1C Enterprise. Okay? Okay, so next one is the configuration. What is the configuration? Configuration is a set of developer-created objects, their properties, methods and behavior, algorithms which reflect enterprise business activities. A configuration is developed in designer mode. So for us, a developer, we need this configuration. Why? Because as I mentioned earlier, it's like a building blocks that we need to form or create and put together in order to create the applied solutions. So this configuration is also called the metadata window. So metadata window, because andito lahat are all things that we need in configuring our application is already here. So we have commons, we have constant catalogs, we have documents, etc. So that is a list of option classes that are used to create our database structure, user interface, and application business logic using this metadata window. All the objects here is like a building block. Then if we put it together, it will give us an output of our applied solution using 1C Enterprise platform. Okay. So how do we see or display the configuration window? So under the menu, yung file edit configuration at the lower part, you will see this button, this one. And you can toggle it on and off to display the configuration window. Okay, so just click this open configuration and it will display the configuration window. If you click the close configuration, it will hide the configuration object here. No? Okay, so we have different metadata here. As I mentioned, common, constant, catalogs, documents, document journals, enumeration, reports, etc. So in 1C Skills Camp, you will learn all of these meta data objects, how we can use them in our or in creating our applied solutions using 1C Enterprise platform. Now, in other programming languages like that we know, like Visual Basic or Java, no, there is what we call property palette. Now, from where the property palette helps us to set up some configuration or properties of that object or data related to that object. Okay, like for example, the font size, the font color. Okay, so the font size and the font color. Okay, so take note about the name here configuration on our metadata object window. Now it name automatically configuration, but we can change it to our name of application. In our case, that is my money. So just double click the configuration highlighted by blue color, and it will display our properties. So all objects here have a properties like this. No? It depends on the class object. So the options could be changed here, but as our configuration for our module that we're going to create, so let us name it as my money. My money. Without space, just use capital letter and small letter. Without space. Then when you press tab, the synonym will be displayed as my money with space. So that is synonym. What is that name and what is that synonym? By the way, in 1C Enterprise platform. So when we use name in 1C Enterprise, and in 1C Enterprise, name is the main property of any configuration object. So any, as we mentioned, we have many different object here, catalogs, documents. So that is so we need to name it uniquely. How do we understood or understand that object clearly? Instead of having a catalog 1, catalog 2, catalog 3, or document 1, document 2, document 3, or configuration 1, configuration 2. So just name it uniquely, but with or meaningfully. There is a meaning for us, or for us to easily understand what is that object. Okay. So tips, change it to a name that makes sense to you. You can choose any name provided that it begins with a letter and does not contain certain special characters. So mga special characters like question mark, asterisk is not accepted to use under name. And then again, synonyms, it stores an alternate description of configuration object. Alternate description only. So if you notice, we use name my money without space, but synonyms automatically use the name but with space. So how space happens? Because of the capital letter that we use for the name my and then money. So it considers by the system when there is a capital letter, a small letter, then followed by a capital letter, the system will put a space for the synonym. So notes, no limitations to the synonym format, and you can always make synonym human readable. Human readable, easily to understand, especially for us, a developer. Even we are a new developer for 1C, we can easily understood the created application. Okay. So if you have question, just approach us, approach me. Just type your question using the chat box. Okay, so we already named the my money. So as I mentioned, there in properties, you can set also other settings here. But later we can do this, or in 1C skills camp, it will discuss everything what is in the properties as you move along with the courses. Okay, so that's it for now. We use name and synonym for our configuration. So my money. So we already have our hello world for 1C skills for 1C enterprise platform. So that is already our first 1C hello world. So let us save. So don't forget, if you edit or update something in your application, so there is an icon like a database with a green arrow. Just click that to save or update the database configuration. Every time you made changes to your configuration, don't forget to update it. Now, by the way, in Visual Basic, we press F5 to debug our application. So in Once Enterprise, we can also use F5 to debug our application. No? So click debug, then click start debugging, or just press or click F5 on your keyboard so that we can see the applied solutions. From where? That is for the end user. No? Okay, so when you debug or when you press F5, it will bring us to the 1C Enterprise platform itself. So this is the hello world, our first hello world for 1C Enterprise. So what is the code? Here is the name of the configuration that we created under the properties using the synonym my money. So it will display here at the upper left corner. So here is the my money. Okay, any question before we continue to go further? Okay, so that is the two mode for our 1C Enterprise platform. Now we have the designer mode or the configuration. This one, the designer mode for us to use. And when you press F5 or run it to debug, it is the what we call the 1C Enterprise mode or the applied solution. So that is the two mode development environment in 1C Enterprise platform, the designer mode and the 1C Enterprise mode. So why we need to run the 1C Enterprise mode? So for us to debug, for us to see if the logic that we need to run the program is suited to what we are expected. Okay, so that's why we need to use also the 1C Enterprise mode to run or see the applied solutions that we're going to expect. Okay, so the 1C Enterprise mode can be run in Windows, Linux, Mac OS, Android, and iOS. If you still remember when we code, we can use it in any different operating system. Just using one code. So that's why once Enterprise claimed that faster creation of application using 1C Enterprise platform, and even they claim that we can use a business application in just a week or less, even 2 weeks, 2 weeks or within a week, we have a 1C applied solutions created in 1C Enterprise platform. And that is very true if you know how to use 1C Enterprise. Okay. Okay. So let us meet another class in 1C Enterprise, that is catalogs. So where do we see the catalogs? Okay, so we're already through with the naming of our configuration. So there are lots of metadata here. No? So let us use now the catalog. So the catalogs here is after constants. Yeah, so we have catalogs there. So what is the use of catalogs in 1C Enterprise? Catalogs is a configuration object used for managing lists of data. So when we say managing list of data, in creating a program or application using other language, how do you see catalogs in one's enterprise? Can I know your answer from the audience? And so let us see kung sino yung who wants to answer. And what do you understand about catalogs? Upon defining catalogs, so that is used for managing lists of data. Anyone from the participant can answer. How do you understand catalogs in OneC Enterprise platform using other language that we use to program or create our program? Anyone from the audience? And you may use your microphone. Yan. But in the chat box, according to Mika Jesa, that is a database. A list of information according to Mal Hermijan Ivan. No? Information and database. Oh, that's true. When we use when we create our Infobase, set our configuration, that is a database, no? But particularly when we use catalogs, Hermi is almost correct with his or her answer. Organized list, yes, list of information. Can you give me an example of that list information? Mal, Hermijan, Ivan. If, for example, we are creating a payroll system. If we create a payroll system, what is that list of information that we're going to create a catalog using OneC Enterprise? Mal, Hermijan, Ivan. Payments. Payments. According to Ma'am Rosemary Avesha, employee name and ID. Okay, correct. So payments, maybe that is part of the transaction. No? When we do payments, that is already a transaction. So the answer of Ma'am Rosemary is very much expected answer. No? Catalogs, list of data, meaning if that information is consistently or frequently used by the user, now we need to create that list of data. Now, for example, employee name. Employee name, because if we create a payroll system, the employee is still the same. No, they will the company will compute the number of hours of that employee, the number of days he worked or present for the job, or within a week, within a month. No, we always access that data or information. So that's why we call it list of data. So we do this, or we create this using the catalogs in OneC Enterprise. So if we create an inventory, yeah. So last question, if the inventory is our application to create, no, what list of data we need to create in catalog? What is that? Ano, yan, very good. List of products or price. Yan, very good. So you have the idea how to use catalogs now in OneC Enterprise. No? If we want to make a list of data that is frequently used by the user to access that data or information, we need to use catalogs. So in our case, for inventory, we need products. If that is for payroll, we need a list of employee. But for our demonstration application, we create a My Money app from where we need a list of accounts. Why list of accounts? Because in our My Money, we monitor our cash. We monitor our bank accounts because that is our money. We also monitor our credit card. So that's why we create this My Money app for us individual to monitor our income and expenses later on. No, that is our main output. If you still remember the demonstration application that we show on the first session, first episode of our Gearing Up for 1C Enterprise platform. That is list of data that we need to create, the accounts, and another is the categories. Why categories? We can categorize it as income or expense. Okay, so our first task here, I will show you my code. Okay, so that is code in 1C Enterprise platform using the objects. No, so we need to create these two catalogs, the accounts and categories. Yeah. So as I explained, accounts. Let us run this the output of this configuration, the accounts and categories in 1C Enterprise for you to understand. So because here I already created the list of accounts and the list of categories. So we have here the accounts and we have here the categories, accounts and categories. So when we click accounts, so there is a list of accounts. As I mentioned, no, I have my bank account, I have my cash, I have my credit card, and if I have lend money to other people, that is accounts that I can use for accounts in this My Money app. So it's up to you if you have other accounts or other accounts as source of your income. So that is in my case, I have bank account, cash, and credit card. So how do we use that in catalogs? How to create accounts? So just right click the catalogs. You can follow me. Right click catalogs and then click add. Let us use the training version. Okay, so this one for you to see. So this is my example on the left side, and this is the new 1C Enterprise training version. Okay, so I have here the catalogs. I already changed the name of the configuration, My Money. So let us move on with the catalogs. Just right click the catalogs and then click add. Or on your keyboard, click insert once you select the catalogs. So click and then add. Yeah. Okay, so when you click add, it will display another window like this. No, it always asks for a name when we add any objects, catalogs, documents, no, our class. So catalog 1. So again, as I mentioned before or earlier, we must name that object uniquely or meaningfully. No? So in that case, instead of using catalog 1, let us use accounts because we need a list of accounts. So that is we're going to name for our catalogs. No? Okay. So let us go back first dito sa ating PowerPoint presentation for me to clearly explain how to use the catalogs. So in our case, we're going to create a record keeping system of our accounts and categories. So later on, we do a transactions to record the movement of the money of our income and expense account, right? Then later we need to analyze personal financial matters. So I already created our metadata class from our catalog. So our catalog is our metadata class. And then our metadata object that we create is the accounts. And then the data itself, when I will show you later. Now, when we run our code in 1C Enterprise, we can add our data as cash, bank account, credit card. Okay, so that is what we call for catalog. That is our metadata class. Accounts is the metadata object, the object that we create, and then the data itself. Okay. So just click close. No, after naming, and then click press tab on your keyboard for the synonym to appear, and then click close only. Click close. And now let us update our database configuration. Accept. So I click this update database configuration, and then click F5 or click this button to debug again, to debug our system. So as you notice, there is now an accounts menu, no? Accounts. Automatically it appears here, accounts. So let us now click accounts for us to add the data. Okay. So we have no list of accounts here. That is the data or the information that you mentioned earlier. So let us now click the create button. Create. So there is another window appear for us or help us to input a list of accounts. So first one is cash. No, cash. So take note, there is two fields here already created by 1C Enterprise, the code and the description. So for the code, we can leave it empty because it will automatically create by the system. Or if you want to have your own code, it's up to you. No, it depends on the business if they have their but in our case, let us leave it blank. Just type a description for our account. So in our case, let us use cash. Now we have different buttons here. No, save and close, save and then more action. So of course, if we click save, it will not close this small window, but it already saved cash as a list of accounts. No, it adds already here. No, and then at the same time, if you notice at the right side, it has now a code of 00001. So that is saved. No, but if you click save and close, so it will save and then it will close the window, the small window. No. Okay, so let us now add another accounts. What is another accounts? For example, I have bank accounts. Then click now. Let us now click save and close. So it will add now another list of accounts. So I have now cash and I have now bank accounts. So automatically the code is created. So if you want to personalize this code, it's up to you. No, but of course, if you want it to happen, that is the time that we need to have a additional code. No. Okay, but for our exercise, we're going to use a minimal code because we want to show to you that even we're not coding, we're not using any single line of code, we can still create an application. It is possible in 1C Enterprise platform to have this kind of application without writing any single line of code. No? So now our end user, they can now add the data or information as a list of accounts upon using the application. So let us now close this one. So that is catalogs. No? We create or we make a list of accounts. Now the other one, as I said, no, we're going to use a categories. Categories. So what is the categories? So let us run this example for you to see what is the content of categories or the data or the information needed by our end user. So we have here folder expenses and folder income. Okay, so under expenses, we have appliances, fare, food, etc. And then for the income, we have credit limit, part-time job, salary, tip, etc. So that is the source of our income. No? Where that money came from? No, maybe from your salary, from your part-time when you do the transaction for income and expense. No, but we are still in catalogs. So how I create this list of categories? No, that has already what you call it, constant folder, expenses, income, and then the transfer. Okay, so this is very different from the first one. No, because from catalog accounts, we only use the name and the synonym. But this time, we're going to use this option, other options in categories. Why? Because we need to create a predefined list of categories, the expenses and the income. Okay, so we're going to create there the list of categories there. Okay, so right click again, then add. And then let us type categories. Categories. Yeah, categories. Okay, so categories with S. Then let us go to hierarchy tab. Hierarchy tab. So in hierarchy, because there is a folder and there is an item, so there is an hierarchy that we need to use. So hierarchy, it will explain in once enterprise in once skills camp if you join. No, folder and item hierarchy. And then we have item hierarchy. So we're going to use the folder and item hierarchy. As what I have shown to you, there is a folder and then there is an item. No? Then you can also put a level limit for that hierarchy. But for this tutorial, just check the hierarchy catalog and then choose the hierarchy type folder and item hierarchy. And then for the data, again, wait. For others, sorry. So we're going to use this predefined folder and item that we can put under expenses and income. So we have your folder for expenses and folder income, and then the item transfer. So let us do this in our example. Okay, so going back here, now after setting up the hierarchy, check this one and then choose folder and item hierarchy. Go to other. Then you will see here the button predefined. Click predefined. And then let us now add the folder named expenses. Let's go up here. The folder named expenses, the folder named income, and then the item transfer. So how do we do that in our Once Enterprise platform? So take note of the button here, the plus sign with the green color, the circle button, and the plus sign green with the folder. No? So let us first add the folder. Okay, just give the name income. Correct? We use here income and expense, then transfer. So type income. Even without typing the description, it will automatically created by Once Enterprise and Once Enterprise platform. So just click tab and then automatically the description is also an income. Then click OK. So we have now this income folder here. So let us now add also expenses. And click tab. Is that correct? Expenses. Okay, expenses. The one that I use for naming the catalog item. Okay, so we have here the expenses. So how this happened? It becomes under the income because I did not select the elements again. No? So, but if this happens, just drag it. Okay, just delete it na lang. Ayaw ma-drag, but it can be dragged. Supposedly. No? So click again. Just click the elements after creating the income folder and then type expenses as the name. Then click OK. So that must be the order and the level of hierarchy. Both expenses and income should be under these elements. Okay. So if the first one happens to you, no, just delete it, but it can be drag and drop. I don't know why it does not work here now. But you can delete and then you can create. That just don't forget to select elements. No? And this time, we need to add the transfer. Okay, transfer. Okay. So this time we're going to use the circle, the plus sign with circle na green. Okay, so click and then transfer. Okay, click tab and then okay. Then if you're done, just close it. Close everything on your screen. And so make it look like this. And then update our database configuration. Then accept. Yeah. So let us now run or see the output of that category. So we have now accounts and then we have now the categories. So let us click the categories. So this time, if you'll notice, we have now two buttons, create and then create group. In accounts, we have no create group. Why? Because of that hierarchy level. No? If you still remember, we set the hierarchy level with folder and item. So that's why in categories, there is now a create group. No, for the user to create a group. So but this folder, income, and then this transfer that we create is what we call the predefined. So meaning that is already there when you run or when the user use our application. It is already there. They don't need to create for that folder, but they can add another folder that they want to use besides the one that we create as predefined, like expense, income, and transfer. So the data is not present here yet, no, because we only create the meta. We use only or to create the metadata class and then the metadata object. Okay, the catalog and the object categories. The data must be input by the end user. But also as our example, we need to have a sample for expenses. So for example, highlight the expenses, then click create. So we can choose here the parent, show all. No, saan ba siya? Expenses or income. No, but the description is the most important. What is the description? Food. Yeah. So let us right click, save and close without putting anything in the parent and the code. Save and close. So you see what is happen. So hindi siya, or it will not happen to be under expenses. Why? Because we did not choose the parent. No, the parent here. So click show all, and then that is for expenses. So select and then save and close. So it's already under the expenses. That is the hierarchy. No, we have the item, the folder, and the item as our hierarchy. So our example for our data is, let us run this one. Then you may add it on your created application. So under expenses, I have appliances, fair food. So it's up to you what kind of expenses you have. Maybe you have a house rental, phone bills, electric bills, groceries, That is the data that we need, a list of data that we need or need by the users to access every time they use this application. So for the income, I use salary, tip, part-time job, etc. So let us try it to put in our application. So for the income, let us create. So income and then salary. Let us add tip. Maraming nagtitip sa akin because they love me. Actually, there is so many. Sometimes when I talk, they give some token of appreciation, like gift. So sometimes there is also a small amount of money. But in our categories income, let us use salary tip, and then you may add another data for your list of categories under income. So it's up to you. But for this transfer, this is already an item. It's not a folder, but this is an item. So if you'll notice, when we create, there is no option for transfer, just expenses and income. So I hope you followed my step-by-step tutorial for today. So that is how 1C Enterprise platform for our first session and second session of 1C Enterprise. Before we end up, of course, let us have our quiz. Maybe there is some prize to be given by our boss, Sir Joey, for this quiz time. But is there any question before we do this quiz time? So that's the end of my tutorial for this day.
Thank you, Sir Ricky. That was fast.
Yes. Yeah, medyo nabitin po.
Yeah, so supposedly we have two parts, but you know, but it's okay. All right, so before we proceed with the quiz, okay, so as mentioned by Sir Ricky, so we'll be having a bit of a review. So as mentioned earlier, our topics for today were about installation, terminologies, Infobase, and catalog. So Sir Ricky discussed installation, and then how to create Infobase, discuss or define what is Infobase, and then about backing up and restoring Infobase. Okay, so we also focused on the configuration, which is the metadata window. Okay, so what's nice is Sir Ricky highlighted the similarity with 1C platform with other programming languages such as Visual Studio. So as we noticed, the configuration or metadata window could be can be compared to Toolbox or Solution Explorer of Visual Studio, as well as the property palette, which is equivalent to the properties window of Visual Studio. Okay, and then Sir Ricky also mentioned about Hello World. So, we were used to creating Hello World by coding. For example, with DOS-based applications like Turbo C, or if we are using the like CMD window of Java, so supposedly we'll be using print codes, okay? And then for Visual Studio, when we're using OOP, so most likely we will just create a button and then do a little code, and then the hello world would appear. But what happened with 1C Enterprise, Sir Ricky, what happened with our hello world? So we were able to create a simple program with the hello world. So imagine how easy it is to use 1C Enterprise platform. Okay. And then, yeah, that was too fast. So Sir Ricky also discussed the user interface and the catalog. Okay, so more of this will actually be discussed in detail on 1C Skills Camp. But what we are trying to do is to help you familiarize with all these topics. Alright, so when we will begin with 1C Skills Camp, so you're ready. Okay, you're ready for the battle. Okay. And then so let's. So Ricky, are we proceeding with the quiz or if they have, or if the participants have any questions?
I have read the chat of April Del Rosario. Yes. Sir, sorry, paano po ulit maglagay ng expenses like food?
All right.
April, do we need to, okay na daw po. Yan.
Alright.
So sabi po ni, hindi na natin ulitin because nakuha na po ni April. And Ma'am Rose Maria Besha, good afternoon, Best Doc. Thank you for listening. And nakakaaliwawid, great, congratulations. Thank you, Ma'am Besha. I hope you will proceed until the skills camp. And Sir Paulo, tapos na daw ba? Nag-brown out. Kakabalik lang. Ayan, sir. Meron naman po tayong video recorded. I know you can still watch this session or episode. Right, sir?
Yes, sir.
So let us now have our quiz. So of course, we need to determine, sir, if our participants really understand and recall what they have seen or viewed or listened.
Yes, sir. I agree. Let's proceed.
Excited daw po si Ma'am Rosemary Abesha. So forgive me for my English version. Actually, I tried my best to be as fluent and as easy for you to understand. But if there is wrong in my grammar, forgive me. I'm not a major in English. Okay, sir, that is only a commercial. And thank you for those who listen and stay until this time for 23. Okay, so let us have now our quiz. And any more questions or clarifications, violent reactions? And so, as you notice, we don't write any single line of coding on the first part that I have shown to you or demonstrate. And that is our target within this whole session until the third day, that we're not going to write any single line of code. But of course, if we want to create better, we need to add additional code, of course, for the logic to work. So not everything should be created automatically by the 1C Enterprise, but a simple application can be done in 1C Enterprise platform. Even if you are expert in using 1C Enterprise platform, even in 1 or 2 days, you have a mobile application. Not only for the desktop, but also for the web browser. And so there is no more question. So other part or objects for the metadata window na nakita natin will be discussed next week. Okay, if you have no more question, let us now have our quiz. Sir Joey, is there any prize here for our quiz time?
Sure. It will really depend, sir. So we may have cash prize.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Surprise, Gcash.
Surprise. Okay. Again, you must log in using the code. No, we have 16 participants here using our ClassPoint.app. Using the code 27846. If you're not yet log in, you mean log in now. You may join so that you may participate and have some prizes. Small token of participation. Okay, no more. Only 16 participants. Or do I need to refresh a new class code so that I may say, oh, it's working because it has additional participants, 17. No more? Okay, no more? Okay, so the question is composed only by 5 questions coming from the first episode and second episode, and I only get 1 question from this session today. No? Okay, so let us now start. Yeah. So from the orientation, so here is the first question. 1C enterprise works in, yan, saan kaya siya nag-work? Saan gumagana? A, cloud, B, mobile, C, desktop, or D, all of the above. So A, B, C, or D. So you have 30 seconds to answer. And so there is C and D. We have 17 participants, correct? Only 11, 12, 13. Habol po tayo, 8 seconds, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yan. So sorry po dun sa mga hindi na umabot. So the most frequently answer is letter D. So let us show the correct answer. There are 2 participants who answered letter Z. Ayan. So of course the correct answer is all of the above. It can work on mobile, on desktop, and in our web browser. Okay, so let us see. Sino kaya yung mabilis sumagot na 3? Yan. Actually, hanggang 6 pala. But congratulations to Natalie with 1,000 points. Oh, tayo with MJ. 1,000 points. Sir Paulo, I guess. 992 points. Ellison, 977. Ayan. So hanggang top 6. Si Joshua de Guzman. Okay, let us now move to the next question. Yan. What is the focus of our part 2? Yeah, if you watch the orientation, and it was mentioned there that the part 2 is A, about 1C Enterprise Platform, B, usage of 1C Enterprise training version, C, deal with the licensed version of 1C Enterprise, and D, actual details of 1C SkillsCamp 2022. A, B, C, or D? Wow, so there are multiple answers, A, B, D. No one answered letter C. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Where are the others? So 11 participants answered A, B, C, D. A, B, D, parang C. And 12 participants. Where are the 5 remaining participants who joined this quiz? Okay, so answer is letter B, of course. Yan. So that is Joshua de Guzman ang ating nangunguna. And followed by Ivan, Ellison, si Paulo ay pang-4 na. Okay, so let us close. So third question. Galing pa rin to sa ating hashtag orientation. What is the title of the app that we are going to demonstrate for this tutorial? Actually, we already demonstrate, no? So A, My Money app, B, 1C Enterprise training version, C, 1C Enterprise license version, or D, inventory app. A, B, C, or D? Ayan, ang bibilis nilang sumagot, no? So they answered A, B, C. Walang sumagot sa letter D. 13 participants, but 10 participants answered letter A. No? Meron pa ba gusto umabol? We have still 4 participants based on the registered participant. Okay, so the correct answer is Letter A. Oy, thank you sa mga nakinig na 10. Ano? Kung naging title ng ating app ay naiba doon sa iba. Okay. So, ang title po ng ating pinakitang app ay My Money. My Money app. Okay. So, first si Joshua de Guzman with 2964, followed by Ellison and Ivan. So, next question from hashtag 1C Enterprise. Yan, no? So, doon galing yung tanong na to, no? He showed us a demonstration on 1C Enterprise development from the last week session. No, besides me, no, before me, meron pang isang nag-develop or nag-demonstrate ng kanyang applied solutions using 1C Enterprise platform. And natapos nga niya, no, in just an hour, maybe. A, is it Joey? B, Carlo? C, Tony? Or D, Eugene? A, B, C, or D? Cast your votes. Yan. Tingnan natin sino talaga yung nanood ng mga nakaraang episode natin. Yan. So maraming sumagot sa C. Sa D meron din at saka sa A. Walang sumagot sa B. Baka yun yung tamang sagot ha. Anong sagot natin, options natin sa B? Sir Carlo. Walang gusto kay Sir Carlo. O dahil hindi talaga si Sir Carlo pala yun. Ayan. Ayan. So sorry doon sa mga hindi na nakahabol. We have, ayan, nanood talaga sila. No? That is Sir Tony. So he demonstrate us that application. But before that, before I forget, your assignment is to follow this demonstration. I will pick one participant who can showcase the output created by Sir Tony until catalogs. Or if you can do it and you can explain it further, you may do so. But it's okay if you can do it up to catalogs only. Okay? So, sino na muna? Okay, si Joshua pa rin, no? With, anong point si Joshua? Siyempre,
61.
sana lang yung question natin natitira, no? Si Joshua pa rin kaya ang manatiling number 1, no? With 3961, taas ang score niya, no? Ellison is 3933, konti lang, no? Kaya pa.
The one who answered letter A has a special prize.
Yes.
Just kidding. Joey.
Maraming sumagot, Joey, sir.
Just one.
Okay. Okay, for the last question, kasi mabibili sila sir sumagot no? Talagang nakikinig sila at nanood from last episode natin. Ito na yung tanong para sa ating session for today, no? It contains not only the data the user works with, but also the program. Ano kaya yan? Sinabi ko yung kanina, no? It contains not only the data the user works with, but also the program. Is it A, 1C Enterprise Platform, B, Infobase, C, Configuration, or D, Catalog? A, B, C, or D? Wow! Walang sumugot sa ibang letter, ha? It's letter B. Meron na. Sumagot na isa. Naligaw. Letter D. O baka yung mga letter B ang naligaw. Yeah, we have 14 seconds. 12 pa lang yung nagkakasampo. 17 yung nag-participate. Asa na kaya yung 5? Ayan, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yan. Sino kaya yung mabilis na sumagot? Of course, obviously, the answer is letter B. Ay, mali yung napili ko. Sorry. Tama ba? Mali yun. Ang sagot is letter B. Mali yung pagkaset ko ng correct answer. Patawad. Paano ngayon yan? Hindi ko pala makikita yung
Those who won.
Score. Patawarin mo ako, sir. Hindi ko na-change yung correct answer, but the correct answer is Infobase. Infobase, hindi tayo maliligaw dyan. Tamang sagot ng karamihan. Yun lang, hindi natin nalaman Napaka-corny ni Sir Ricky. Hindi nalaman yung final answer kung naungusan ba ni Ellison si Joshua. No. Andito si Mama Besha. Mama Besha, meron ba solution dito sa ating class point? Kasi siya yung ano dito. Mahusay si Mama Besha sa class point. Ayan. So, okay lang ba, sir? Yun na yung result ng ating ng leaderboard. Si Joshua. Corny ko, no? Masalanan ko to eh.
So this is the overall, sir. Joshua,
Ellison, and Paulo. Hanggang third po yung meron.
Pwede na.
Pero ang nanalo ay si Joshua.
Yeah. So we have
Siya po nakakuha na.
We have Joshua, Ellison, and Sir Pao.
Opo, pero pag tinignan ko pala, sir, no, kasi yung points is pabilisan lang siya, pero ang percentage, pantay-pantay yung apat, 80%. They got correct answer.
Okay. Okay, so it's the correctness and the speed. Kaya po naging fair. Okay.
Okay. Ay, congratulations sa mga nag-participate, lalo dito sa top 6 natin. Halatang nakikinig. Apo. Ayan, so before I leave, iwanan ko sa inyo itong aking laging favorite na iwan sa aking mga audience. Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. So your step na ginawa today, I know it will bring you to a good future with 1C Enterprise Platform. Thank you, sir. Thank you po sa inyo.